Yo, what is good, NYU? We are here for the Silence Behind the Violets podcast, episode number 5. Kai, who are we speaking with today?
We are speaking with Tate Jordan of NYU Women's Soccer. Welcome, Tate. Tate, the team leader in goals this past season, graduate transfer from American University, where she was an all-Patriot League selection and led the team in scoring her senior season as well. So, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Huge
Absolutely. Friend of the pod now,
fan.
now that you work with us. Actually, so before we even get into these questions, this ain't even putting you on the spot. For the people that don't know, how did you get put onto this podcast? Because it's a lot simpler than people would think.
Totally. It was my first day in the NYU athletics office.
Yeah.
And I walked in to say hey. And then it was, wait, can you be on the podcast tomorrow?
yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
That's
and I was
it.
like, yeah, I can.
Yeah, women's basketball, they DM'd us. So if you want to be on, just DM us, just walk into the office.
It's as easy as
Jump
that.
in.
Yeah, exactly. Not hard. All right. So to lead off with this first question, we've been asking a number of our guests the same thing, which is, there's this podcast that Kai and I listen to that their question is like, who was the first player to bust your ass, right? So for us, the level of play at college is so much stronger and faster across the board, of course, so like than that of high school. Mm-hmm. What was your welcome to college moment?
Welcome to college. From American or?
Either or.
Probably. Oh God, on the field, off, both.
You tell me.
Oh no.
We do have a New York City one though, so like for the welcome to that. So perhaps maybe that could better serve as the off-field, but
like
yeah,
a
maybe.
welcome to New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for this one, like you're welcome to college, like on field.
Welcome to college on field. Let me think about that for a second, because if somebody busted my ass, I probably blocked it out. I blocked out the busted ass trauma.
It's a good mental strategy.
Yeah,
Totally.
exactly.
Yeah,
like happen, get back up, keep going.
I mean, it could even be like your freshman year at American, like training camp, where like the seniors were just like so fast, or or something like that.
It's funny you say that because, preseason obviously first year is always, because I mean it's never what you expect it to be, and then you get there and it's double sessions, fitness test, and like just craziness. But probably we were playing like small-sided 4v4, and I was on a team. They split us up, so like some freshmen, some sophomores, juniors, seniors, whatever. And it was like a round-robin tournament, whatever. We hadn't won at all. And I was like little freshman, like shaking. I was a striker, so I was like, shoot, I'm the striker on this 4v4 team. We have 0 goals. That's my fault. Everything, whatever. So, and one of the seniors came up to me, or we were like in a group huddle trying to strategize, whatever. And I said something like, I don't remember if it was, I think I may have blocked it out. But from what I do kind of remember, I said, like, oh, I'm just going to, like, be better. So sorry, guys. Like, a little freshman apology, whatever. And she said, like, she came right back at me with I can't remember her exact words, but it was, like, some statement that hit me. And I was like, yep, I'm going to just shut my mouth. Like, I'm going to be quiet.
Sure.
And you know what? We're just going to keep going and figure it out from here. So probably that. And on the field, again, I can't remember anybody, like, seriously destroying me. But it probably happened.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe
now
you,
my mind's
for
going to
sure.
start thinking about it. There's probably like video evidence somewhere. Definitely.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay. Solid.
Okay. No, I like that. Well, yeah, like we mentioned, now being in New York for like 6-7 months now, did you have a welcome to New York City moment?
Off the top of my head, I honestly think I had like 3. The first one was, so I got off the train. And I, like, rubbed my eyes right when I got off the train. And I had this, like, weird thought. And I was like, I don't know why I just touched my face after I just got off the train, right? Okay. So thought that through for a second. Kept going with my day. Went to bed. Woke up. The next few days, I developed an eye infection. Yes. Literally, like.
Thanks,
blew up.
MTA.
Wait, did you guys do our media day?
Yeah,
of
course.
I actually had the eye infection during media day. My eye was blown up. I'm going to show you a picture.
Yeah. We'll
Like,
put it on the screen.
Please.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The world and my team has seen it.
Yeah.
But I actually think it was from me rubbing my eye, because I had that weird little thought and I was like, I should not have just touched my face. And then I woke up.
Photos. Right before a
massive.
very high quality camera
Oh my gosh.
took your face.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And so I
So the
went
face guard was declining, is what you're saying.
declining, like more than ever has in my entire life.
Oh.
And so I went to urgent care, and it just kept getting worse and
no.
worse and worse. I went to urgent care the day before our picture day, and I said, "Sister, we got headshots in the morning. Like, this has to go.
Get me right."
Yeah. So she got me pills, cream, everything, the whole thing, and it went down. It wasn't great,
All the
but
way.
it did the job. Oh my God, you guys, you're gonna like throw up. 1 second. Hold on.
So you went to City MD looking like this?
A City MD urgent
Right
care.
around the corner.
That's my spot. I
Yeah.
actually
That's
love
take
them.
care of you.
No, they're fire, and they take like they're super fast. 5 minutes. Anyway.
Yo.
Yeah, I know.
God damn.
I know.
Unrecognizable.
So that was
Yeah.
that was the day before picture day.
You look like you got punched
Yeah,
square in
like-
the mouth. Like square in the eye,
It
rather.
was unbelievable. Anyway, that was one.
Uh-huh.
Dirty. I literally never touch anything now after I get off the train,
Yeah.
wash my hands, sanitizer. Yeah.
For the best.
Totally. Second one, probably the bike lanes.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of times I actually almost got destroyed across the bike lanes.
You guys ever been to Amsterdam?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Copenhagen.
You talking about
Copenhagen's
bike
very
lanes?
similar though.
Yeah. You talking about bike lanes?
Oh.
Flying.
Just like
40.
More than
oh,
this
so
this
much
can't even
more.
hold a candle.
these people
Yeah.
are ruthless.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like worse than cars.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
I was walking and actually almost got swiped out, and there was a whole group of people in front of me, and I was like, and this kept moving, like nothing happened.
Yeah, recently
But-
I've witnessed some serious bike pedestrian
Yeah.
collisions.
I mean, like it's
Yeah.
like inevitable. Like you
Yeah.
can't. They're so crazy
Yeah.
and so fast, and they beep their horn. It's like, what's that gonna?
Yeah.
You're still
Mm-hmm.
going so fast.
Yeah.
So
As a
that-
proud Lift Pink City Bike member,
Ah.
I bike from Queens to New York.
Huge.
From Queens to the
Mhm.
city, in the mornings, summer mornings.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like 7 miles, and I only almost die like 3 times.
Mm.
Okay.
So
It's a
good
pretty good
ratio.
ratio.
That is a good ratio.
Yeah.
So keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's
Literally.
working. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's awesome.
Mm.
And then third, probably, I mean, you see a lot of crazy things in New
Of
York.
course.
The one thing that I actually will never forget is I was walking by, and this man who was super tired, I guess, there was a, like, you know how mattresses come in plastic wrap?
Yeah.
So there was a mattress that was in plastic wrap on the side of the road. He cut a slit in the plastic wrap
Okay.
and got right in. And he was napping
Uh,
in the cutout
Wow.
slit on the mattress. And I was like,
Tempur-Pedic?
I hope so. I
That
hope
memory
so.
foam, bro. I'll get
But-
under a plastic wrapper too.
I mean, like, nothing more New York than that.
No, for sure.
Yeah, that's good.
Literally.
Where was that?
Ingenuity.
It was on 14th.
14.
Yes.
14th is a
14th.
wild place.
Wild.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, wild. People don't really know. They're like, 14th Street? I'm like, 14th Street.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
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 There's a lot going on.
So,
Mhm.
that was crazy. But
Yeah, very much so.
Mhm.
So switching gears a little bit, we were talking a little bit off camera about how I work for the U.S. Open in tennis, and a big thing in the tennis world is like sports specialization.
Mhm.
And a lot of people are like, "Yo, like you should only play this one
Yeah.
sport, like 12 months a year, no
Yeah.
matter what." But you grew up playing multiple sports,
Mhm.
so I'm very curious about like how important that was in your growth and development, just
Yeah.
as an athlete overall. So what sports did you play?
So, younger years, I was soccer, basketball, baseball. I swam for a couple
Yeah.
days. The swim team didn't really work out, but I was on
Right.
it for a little bit. And then as I got older, I kind of decided, when I got more serious, it was soccer, basketball, track.
Okay.
So fall soccer season, winter basketball season, spring track.
Sheesh.
And then,
Wow.
so I would do like town basketball, travel team, travel league, whatever, for all of them. And then like AAU and club soccer for soccer and basketball.
Sure.
Track kind of started more when I got to high school, but it was always 1, 2, 3, back to back to back. And I was never fully focused on one because obviously I always had another season to look forward to. And I never thought twice about it, literally ever, until I got to like my end of junior year when like recruiting's supposed to pick up. And everybody was like committing and deciding, and everybody already had known what they wanted to do. And I was like, so now I have to pick? Like, what? Nobody told me. No, I was just not ready for it. So that was that at that moment I was kind of like, shoot. So, but growing, I mean, I wouldn't change a thing. I loved every single one, and it made that decision so hard. But it was always all three, never, yeah.
Yeah, like growing up, I played soccer like as many kids do growing up, which I'm so happy that my parents just signed me up for like a team sport more than anything like in life. But I played soccer from like, I don't know, 6 to 13. And I started playing baseball at 8. But during that like 5-year overlap between the two, my parents would legitimately like take me to a soccer game at like, let's say Saturday 8 a.m., play until 9:30, whatever. And then I would change in the car, shout out the Ford Windstar, ripping across the boroughs of New York City for 9-year-old Kyle. And I would change in the car from my soccer uniform, like shin guards off, and then into my baseball uniform, and then go play like a doubleheader at like noon.
Totally.
And I wouldn't change anything. And my parents loved it. Yeah. You know?
Went right to sleep when you got home.
Oh, knocked like a rock.
One spring season I was in high school. I was in track season, on an AAU basketball team, and on a club soccer team.
Yeah, that crossover
and
is
I
crazy.
was like, what is going on? So I would go basketball tournament in the morning, soccer game in the afternoon, back to basketball because you would play like 2 a day or however the tournaments go. So crazy, but so fun. And I made literally my best friends from like each sport.
How'd you land on soccer? What was the deciding factor?
Oh, so I grew up. So I went to boarding school for high school. So I went to 2. Because I went to 2 because I needed extra time to decide. So I went to Lawrence Academy in Massachusetts for my first 4, and then did soccer, basketball, track there. That is where I had the like end of junior year, like shit, what am I gonna do? And then so my senior year, I got hurt. So I had an injury and I didn't know what I was gonna play. So I was deciding between soccer and basketball, what I was gonna play in college. Track was out. But definitely soccer and basketball. So then I was hurt and I didn't have a decision made. So I kind of met with the people around me, and they were like, "Well, there's this thing you could do called a post-grad year, which is just like an extra year of high school, like an extra senior year kind of thing. So you go to just another prep school. A lot of people do it for sports. You'd go, and then because you already have it's literally like what we're doing now. Yeah, it's
exactly.
Crazy. Yeah. So you go, and it's like you start the whole process over again. You go like on your visits, meet with the coaches, all that stuff. And so I looked at a few schools for that, decided on Loomis Chaffee, which is in Windsor, Connecticut, and decided to do that. So I played soccer there, basketball there, and then I committed to American in the middle of basketball season there.
Damn.
So then so then I started the track season, didn't finish it because I just switched into, they had like lifting as a sport you could do. Yes. So because I was already decided, so I just ended up doing that. So going into Loomis, I still had absolutely no idea what I was going to do. So once that soccer season started picking up, it was awesome. We won a New England championship, like incredible.
Word.
Yeah, so dope. And so I started talking to more schools during that time, and then American kind of just happened, worked out nicely, and I hung up the basketball sneakers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and now never looked back.
I love that.
I know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you miss the other two at all? Do you have moments where you're like, oof?
Track, no. Track, I was cool with that one. Basketball, definitely. In the beginning, I was like, is this the right decision? Because I also looked at some schools where I could have played both. So I was like, I could have the best of both worlds, but I wanted to play soccer at the highest level that I could. So it was just a lot of give and take. And then American just worked out really nicely at the time. And, yeah, so I miss it, but it was definitely right. Yeah.
What were your strengths in basketball? Were you a shooter?
Yeah, I was like a 2-3.
Yeah.
I was more combo guard,
Yeah.
not a shooter. No, I could never
Slasher?
claim being a shooter,
You don't
because
have
if
that
anybody
badge.
watched this who played basketball with me, they would flame me, literally flame. Not a shooter. Made a lot of stuff happen. Drove to the rim.
Playmaker.
Exactly.
It's like chemistry right there. It's like
I could do it. I could be a point guard. I could take a couple shots if I needed to. If one of our bigs got hurt, put me in the post, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not a shooter. I'm not claiming that. I never will.
on the basketball topic, did you grow up like a Celtics fan since you grew up
Oh
in Mass?
God, yeah. Celtics. So my family, my mom and dad both from Massachusetts. So my dad is like diehard all sports. So growing up, me and my brother, we did Bruins, Celtics, Red Sox, Patriots all the time, and it was dope. So awesome. So
That is very cool.
Celtics is my number one for sure, but all of them.
Yeah.
So we got a good mix of all the Boston sports. But now it's hard because nothing compares to them.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's funny because I grew up in New England as well.
Yeah.
And like growing up, was definitely mostly a Boston sports fan.
Yeah.
I got into the NBA late, so I never like gravitated to the Celtics.
Yeah.
But now I don't know. Not like something about Boston sports fans kind of turned me off,
Okay,
especially
fair.
growing up with a
They're
lot of
super
them.
fair.
So
Right.
Fair.
I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect
You
it, but
have to.
yeah.
But have you been to the Garden recently?
Not recently. It's
I
been
have.
like
Beautiful.
4 years.
Nothing rocks
Yeah,
harder
it's
than
so
the
cool.
Boston Garden.
And even what they've
Nothing.
redone with
You-
the concourses
you're not wrong.
and like the
Yes.
Well,
storytelling.
Everything.
for me, it's Fenway. Like, I'm still a
yeah.
Oh,
Sox
yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
baseball was my first love.
Yeah.
The Sox won the World Series in 04, broke the curse on my birthday. So
Yeah.
that was, like,
That's
a huge
sick.
moment.
Yeah.
That is huge.
So, Fenway is it for me. I'm still a Sox fan,
Yeah.
but everything else
Yeah.
just
I know.
didn't last.
I
But I respect
understand.
it. No.
Tom Brady? How do you feel?
I like Tom.
Okay.
He's
what's
got I got some
Soft
love.
spot?
I got some love for him.
Indifferent.
Okay, fair.
I mean, again, you're talking to a born and raised New Yorker.
Oh, God.
Right.
So
Right.
for me to say that's sick to the 04 curse,
Oh, God.
you know, I'm like,
That's
it's
high
like,
praise
what's
from
that-
this
what's
guy
that
right
meme
here.
where it's
I
like the
know.
smile on the outside, but I'm raging behind
Yeah.
the mask.
I mean,
That's
you,
me
you
right
can't deny him.
Yeah,
Can't.
of course.
Were
But-
you one of those Boston fans who, like, started rooting for the Bucks after he went down there?
No.
No.
Okay.
So
I-
then leave
That's
it.
I respect that.
No, yeah. I mean, will clap for them, sure.
Yeah,
Him and Gronk.
got it.
But no, never like that.
Well, you're name dropping a few people. Did you have favorite players growing up?
So, we'll start Celtics. I actually did like in a little bit of everything. So Celtics, definitely like the big three.
Of
Like,
course. Of course.
Garnett.
KG, Pierce,
Yep.
Yeah.
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen.
Those three.
Yeah.
Red Sox, weirdly, I loved Manny Ramirez.
Oh my! You
greatest
can't
right-handed-
not.
I
You
know.
can't
Yeah.
not.
No, I mean
Yeah.
greatest like pure hitter right-handed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
for real.
And
I
one of the greatest
had a little
personalities
shirt.
in MLB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a little. What's he doing now?
He's
Right?
retired. He played in like Taiwan for a bit,
Okay.
I was
so
gonna
he's
say,
retired.
yeah, but he
Yeah.
still could probably hit a ball.
Oh, he
420
yeah.
with like 110 exit
Yeah.
velocity.
I haven't kept tabs on him.
Yeah.
But when I was
think
little,
yeah.
I
I
loved
forget
him.
where he's from though. Isn't he from New York? I'll look that up.
No, that's a good question.
I don't know.
Anyways,
But yeah, and then Patriots, Randy Moss.
Of course.
Mhm.
Of
Fire.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a cool
Fire.
reference.
Yeah. Loved him. And Bruins can't give you one.
Yeah.
Didn't have love for anybody specifically.
Yeah. Personally, not a hockey fan.
Yeah.
Fair
Like,
enough.
I
It's fun to go to the
watch
games.
it,
The
for
games
sure.
are a lot of fun for sure.
Totally.
But yeah.
Manny
But-
Ramirez was born in DR, however, went to high school in Washington Heights.
Interesting.
Make of that what
Yeah,
you will.
Manny. Yeah, he
I
was
feel like
my
that
guy.
adds up for
He-
sure.
He was
Yeah.
my Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have
Love it.
a favorite?
It was always Ortiz. I mean,
Yeah,
that's like the
of
easy
course.
one, but like being a left-handed hitter and a first baseman, he was the man.
Yeah.
So I have a poster of him in my house. So.
And you had do you have a favorite Yankee?
You want to guess? I mean, growing up.
We can't say that on camera.
Here we go.
No.
Derek Jeter.
No, we can't. We can't. We don't talk about. We can't talk about the Yankees.
Nah.
I mean, listen,
You're on number, bro.
the thing is, like, yeah, totally understood as we are at New York University, but you know,
I should
what I
wear
will
my
say,
Yankees
what
hat.
I will say though, for real, is that like I'm very objective as a Yankee fan,
Mhm.
and like my friends that are friends of, that are fans of opposing teams, very much respect the fact that I can be very realistic. How many chips do the Red Sox have in the last like since 04, 08, 07,
Mhm.
13, 18? Right?
Exactly.
That's 4 in a 14-year span.
Yankees
haven't
got
done
09.
Anything
Yeah.
since 09.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you watch back footage of it and it's trash.
You
Well,
respect
it also
the
it's
stats.
tough to be a Sox fan too, though, because they either win the series or they're just horrible and
I'm
embarrassing.
taking that trade every time though. Last place or first place.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yankees are second every year. So anyways.
Yeah, that's tough. But so one of my best friends got me a Yankees hat for my birthday this year because obviously I was coming to New York,
Yeah.
and I sent my dad a picture, and he was like, "You better never ever put that on your head."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ooh." But it's cute.
Well, so we actually posted your
Oh, yeah.
your video of your dad speaking. So is he a teacher?
So he is, yeah.
Yeah?
He
Okay.
teaches 4th grade.
4th grade.
Mhm.
Good age.
In Boston,
Mhm.
yes,
That's
yes.
awesome.
He always has been.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nick actually came up to me yesterday and was like, "Oh, I saw that video of your dad." So funny. He said he had his he has a teaching assistant.
Yeah.
They had her recording it, and of course he had to do the whole thing. So it was awesome.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was a great part of the video because you could grab so much just from the stories that people's families were able to tell.
Totally.
So like for you he was talking about, all the different fields that you went to and all that. So I mean, does that kind of refer to just all those different sports that you played and all the different venues?
Definitely. And they were him, my mom, and my brother always there, no matter what. Even like boarding school when I played, when I lived there. My first one was in Massachusetts, so it was close to home, but they were at everything. And then second one, a little like 2 hours away, a little further, but still always there. And even in college, when I went to D.C., we would always play. We would go to BU, so that was a home game. So
Homecoming.
like the fact that I got that, and then here we ended at Brandeis at home.
Right.
Yeah.
So
full circle.
everybody, the whole family, friends,
Right.
old coaches, everything.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah. So everybody's always been along for the ride, which is really cool.
That is really
Yeah,
cool.
super cool.
Kyle, I kind of skipping ahead a question, but just on that note, you're in New York now. Of course, from Massachusetts, got a lot of love there. But do you want to stay in New York after school? How, do you want to go back to the Boston area?
I think right now I'm cool with New York. I'm feeling good, having a good time.
It's still been less than a year, so it's still
So I'm liking it. I think though, like I have a huge place in my heart for Washington D.C. now. Yes. So I could totally see myself going back there.
How do the two compare? DC to New York City?
So DC's definitely a chiller vibe, but still like big city. You can find the places that are poppin' if you need to, but also like the people chiller. Not as much pee on the streets in DC,
No doubt,
as there in New York.
I mean, true.
But yeah, the only thing is like the sports there aren't as, the fans aren't as like they're not. It's not New York or Boston sports wise.
Course, yeah.
So that was one big thing when I was there. I was like, there's nothing really to like grab onto. Of course, the Caps and Nationals both did win championships, I think, when I was there. But still, it didn't
Nationals
feel...
and
kind of quietly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like and the Wizards...
Wizards are just
tough.
perpetually mediocre.
Totally.
So, yeah.
So...
Free Bradley Beal.
Yeah, sorry, Brad. I was about to say.
Free Beal.
No, literally.
For real.
I know. I thought Kyle Kuzma was going to help him out.
The savior.
Yeah.
Not all Kyle's.
He's got his
fits,
fits, though. He carries the fitted team.
The personality, all
Facts.
that.
Yeah. So they're doing good on
Big
that.
tunnel
front.
guy.
Yeah.
Totally.
We want to do that. We want to do that next year. Tunnel fits.
Oh, please.
Tunnel
That
fits
would be
for sure.
incredible.
Well, even though you're not playing soccer anymore, we'll still do like office fits.
I'm in.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
I'm in. Yeah, that's dope.
All right, that works.
But I love that.
We have some other questions on here relating to American, but I mean, let's just talk about like how you even got here. What was the process of coming to NYU? Who'd you converse with, and like what elements really factored into coming here?
So after my senior season at American, I like went right into the transfer portal. Knew that I was gonna take my 5th year, but I wasn't gonna stay there. Just because I mean I loved it, had a great time, but I was just like, this year came about so crazily that why wouldn't you take it and use it?
Experience something new.
Totally, yeah. So I knew I was going to do that, went right into the portal, went through the whole process again, visits, talks, coaches, all that stuff. And I reached out to NYU, actually. So I sent them, because one of my professors at American had mentioned the sports business and business entertainment program. Because I was asking him, I was like, oh, I kind of want to stay in this. Any recommendations for master's programs? He mentioned here. I was like, awesome. They have a great soccer team also. Yeah. So reached out and emailed back and forth, turned into a Zoom, turned into a visit, turned into me applying, waiting for that was the toughest part, waiting for the answer about whether or not I got in, because that's what they were waiting for too. And in that time, like, I had a list of maybe like 5 schools I was also looking at. NYU was definitely at the top. So I had about 5. So I did visits and stuff, all the things for those schools. And then I narrowed it down to NYU or Northeastern. So I was going back and forth. So I got into NYU, had the Northeastern offer also, did visits and stuff there. So I cut out the rest, had NYU Northeastern. And I was like, home or New York. And then, so I just did, like, pros and cons. I mean,
course,
they were,
yeah.
like, it took me, when I had those two finally and kind of meshed out the rest, it took me maybe, like, 3 months to come to a decision.
Damn.
Of just, like, going back and forth on phone calls, talking to people who went there, all that type of stuff, and pros and cons. They have a sports business program, too, so everything was neck and neck. And their D1, really great D1, really great soccer program. Their staff was awesome. The girls were great. Everything. So it was, like, such a toss-up. But then I was like, I did D1, I'm cool. I don't think I need to do it again. And I don't need to be at home. I'm good with Boston. Let's go do something new. So it just turned into that, and it worked out so perfectly.
For sure, yeah. I was going to ask if the Division III
Yeah.
of it all really factored in, but
It
that makes a lot of sense,
It
yeah.
did, totally. Yeah, 100%. It was a big factor, actually.
You want to talk about some of those differences
Yeah.
between D1 and D3?
So, I mean, we could write books about that.
I know.
But good books, of course. So the first one that really stuck out to me was D1, a lot of schools, American specifically too, you wear the same thing all the time. Head to toe, you got to be in unison with everybody. If you don't, usually a consequence of some kind. But you prepare that, obviously everybody knows, everybody gets the same stuff, so
Yes.
everybody can wear the same stuff. Like day one, everybody's in most of the same stuff, from preseason meetings, everything like that. So I get here, and we have a preseason meeting with, like, the administrators or something,
sure.
and I'm like, I can't remember who I was talking to, but I was like, so what are we wearing? Like, what's the deal with that? And they're like, whatever you want. And I was like, what? Are you sure? So I get there, and people are, like, in jeans and dresses, and I was like, what is going on right now? Like, it felt so weird, because I was like, we're not in our sweatshirts and sweatpants and
Team
sneakers.
issued everything,
Yes.
yeah.
So that was a huge thing, and I was just like, oh my god. But awesome, like, super cool to see, and just different.
Yeah, the individuality.
Totally.
Right.
People get to show
Yeah,
their
it was
personalities.
dope.
for
And
sure.
it was like, we're all here to play soccer, but it's like, we can do this and not be in our uniform things. Yeah, so that was huge. I think, the off season was also another huge difference. Not that I'm in it now because I'm done, but, like, if I was. So at D1 you usually play fall, winter, spring. Like, there's no time off. You get, like, Christmas, but then once you get back from Christmas break, it's usually, like, right away. And spring season is still a season, but it's just shorter. So you play a couple less games. So after your fall season, you go right into winter, which is, like, conditioning, training, lifting, stuff like that, kind of preparing for the spring. And then spring rolls into the same thing, getting ready for those games. But those games, one, don't matter. Two, there's only a few of them. So coaches are like, we don't care if your legs don't move. Like, you're going to be fine either way. So winter and spring is, like, brutal. Yeah. You get better, for sure, but it's brutal. So that was another big difference. And that just, like, kind of equates to time also. Just the time differences between the two. Like, D1, it feels like you have no time. Like, you're eating, breathing, and living it. And it's great and awesome, but here you have time to do other stuff. And everybody does, which is, like, was so crazy to see, because I was like, oh, meeting's over, like, what next? And they're like, oh, well, I have this, and I have this, and I have this. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, everybody kind of does.
Yeah,
has
you're not
their
just, like,
things.
all in unison
Yes.
going through the schedule.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, like...
Yeah, not to say that's bad.
No, but it can be, totally. Yeah. Well, it can be bad, totally. But that was another big difference, I think, the time. So, yeah, I don't know about anything else.
Level of play, I mean, is that just self-explanatory, or was there not as much of a
Honestly,
gap?
here, there wasn't as big of a gap as maybe people might think, just from the 1 and the 3. But that's just a testament to these girls. I mean, they were, like, so awesome, and everybody flowed really well. And I saw also another big difference is the length of, like, preseason. Like, D1, you'd go a month and a half early. Start up here was, like, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks, and we did just as much as you could.
Just
Like,
more compressed.
Yeah,
totally,
for sure.
yeah, and it worked out so perfectly So that was another big difference. But the level of play still high. I mean, practices, everybody works so hard, translates right into games. Goals are scored, defense is played, all the things. So, and this pace is high too.
Yeah.
Technical ability. That's one thing I think people would think, like, the technical ability between D1 and D3 is different, which it can be, but I think here it was very, like, extremely solid across the board. Like, very high level.
It's definitely a testament to the conference, too,
Oh,
to
yeah,
the UAA.
totally. Yeah. So that was really cool and really fun to be a part of, to kind of make that jump. Yeah.
Because you knew that you just had 1 year left of playing, right? It's almost like, damn, like, this is it, right? Like, almost like a farewell tour of sorts. Because you knew it was just going to be 1 year, did you approach the season any different? Than you did, your sophomore, junior, senior years?
Yeah.
Like, were you going to try to make it a point to absorb it some more? I mean, it's also difficult to do because you're in a new place, so you're also trying to adjust at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
So.
I think establishing yourself in college soccer takes a long time. So I was worried because I was like, I had a great senior season at American, but that took me 4 years to get to. So I was like, I'm going to come here and do my best to have a great season, but also tell myself that I know that stuff takes time and you learn a lot through 4 years of college soccer. So one thing is, while there is unavoidable pressure, sometimes you have to just, like, let it release on yourself and be like, you just have to trust what you've done in the past, trust the process that you're going through now, and just go out there and do what you know how to do. So that was kind of my mindset going into everything. And just have a good time. Yeah, because
Most important.
It goes by so fast.
Yeah, for sure. Going back a little bit, talk to us about your first collegiate goal. Walk us through it.
First collegiate goal. So I remember it so well. It was first game at American. We were playing Mount St. Mary's. Like, first game I can't remember if it was right at a preseason or if it was post a few preseason games. But first real game, first real game that counted. Mount St. Mary's at home. First game, got the start. I was like,
nice.
Yeah, I was ready
Hell
to
yeah.
go. Yeah, it was fire. And second half, one of my teammates, her name is Audrey, just played a perfect little through ball through, finished it, and it was awesome. Yeah. And that was it. And I think
59th minute on a ball for Audrey
second half.
Dankler.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Thanks, AD.
Super cool.
Very cool.
Super cool.
Damn, so you scored your first collegiate goal, but you didn't get the post-game interview?
Come on now.
I didn't need
In the
all
first
that.
career game, too?
Yeah.
What?
I didn't need all that.
Is there video of it, do you know?
Somewhere there
in
is
the world?
actually.
Yeah.
It's on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they
Okay.
tweeted it. It was cool. It was so cool.
Love that.
Yeah, so that's
dope.
one that I remember forever. Definitely.
And your first goal here with NYU?
So I
If you can
think the
recall
first goal was we were playing at NJIT.
Oh, that's
and-
actually funny. It was against Mount St. Mary.
Oh,
Not
was it?
Mount, yeah.
Wait,
Did the D3 Mount St.
that's
Mary, actually.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait,
That's
really cool.
wild, actually.
Full
That's
circle.
really
Look at that,
cool.
yeah.
So that one I do remember because it was also in the second half. We were up. We won that game like 9-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was I think somebody played it from the back line, and it was bouncing a couple times, and I just like tipped it up over the goalkeeper. And I think it was goal number 7 or 8, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But still fun.
something like that. Yeah.
Still
It was a-
awesome. Yeah.
a great first game of the season,
Still
for
really
sure.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wait, that's so crazy. Both Mount St. Mary.
Yeah, right?
Weird. The world.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
When you scored the first one here, did it almost feel like a weight was off your shoulders because maybe like any expectation came with where you were coming from? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I knew that in the past I had gone through so many like scoring slumps. So I was like, we got to start off here right now just to kind of put that to rest. And especially in a game like that, like everyone was contributing. It was fun. I was like, this is the time to do it and open the floodgates, and it happened, and it was awesome. Yeah.
What are you telling yourself when you're going through one of those scoring slumps? Like, who are you turning to? What are you talking about?
The scoring slumps. Honestly, at American, my teammates were the best, and they always knew when it was happening because I would be like going through practice and games, shots on goal, but just not something wasn't clicking right in the end. and they would always just tell me, like, it's going to come, and when it does, that's going to kind of unleash everything else. And so obviously great to hear, but also in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, I'm trying to believe that, but every time I hit the post or the goalie saves it, it's hard to believe that. So, I mean, you just kind of got to keep going. You just keep doing it and hope eventually that. And my coaches were pretty good about it too. They would, like, obviously film is always helpful just to kind of see, like, the little things that you're missing. And they were good about it. And just, like, acknowledging that at least you got to that place. At least you got in a scoring position. At least you got in front of the net. At least you got a shot off. Like, you could have not gotten there. So I always would remind myself that, like, you did all that work to get there, and some people don't. So
yeah, it's so important to just try to become so much more, like, process oriented than result oriented.
Right.
Because, like soccer, you know, with baseball, you can do everything right. Because,
Totally.
like me as a baseball guy, like, you do everything right. But then somebody's there to catch it or make the stop. In your case, same exact parallel.
Yeah.
You mentioned your teammates, you mentioned your coaches about, like, who you turn to and provided input for you. You ever turn to, like, your family at all? Since they're so sport heavy?
Definitely. I mean,
or was it more of a quiet car ride home?
A
game.
quiet walk. Yeah,
no, for sure.
No, I would get they would always watch and on, like, the broadcast or whatever. And my dad, I always got the text post game, like.
What's the text?
Is it like a breakdown, like a big thing?
At most games, I got the text. Sometimes long, sometimes short. Sometimes it was like a interesting, like, play at this, and this. And sometimes it was like this long thing. How many times have I told you this? I'm like, I know. So sometimes, but also it got to, my mom, it was more my dad. My mom is very, like, she understands the pressure that college soccer brings. So when I got into it, she was do you really have to keep doing this? Like, one game, I came off of the field, and we were playing at Colgate, and we had just lost, like, bad. I come off the field, and she goes, so are we done with this?
Wow.
Yes, because
wow.
she knows how killer it is to the brain and how much it destroys some people. So she's like, why do you guys put yourselves through this, blah, 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 blah. And she gets it, like, obviously being an athlete my whole life and stuff like that, the commitment and things like that. But she's just like, it's so grueling, and especially at the college level that, so she would usually be like, it's okay, next time. And my dad would be like, do this and this and this. How about I practice? Yeah.
That's dad's. Utilitarian.
Totally.
This is how you fix it. Because I got to fix.
And
then
I'm
moms are like, yo, I'm here for you.
Exactly. And I would always be like, it got to the point where I'm like, Dad, like, I'm here. I got here. I know what I'm doing. I'm trying. He's like, just score. I'm like, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Like, you think I'm not, but I really am. So it's funny. So sometimes you have to block it out, but usually they're good about it.
So I don't know if either of you two, since, you know, we've all played sports here at various levels.
Yeah.
Not D1.
No. One D1 athlete here.
Yeah, exactly.
For the record.
No, you're good.
D1.
Did you ever struggle with, because maybe you never did. Did you ever struggle with, and if you did, was there ever a point in which you overcame removing a perceived connection between your performance and your self-worth? So, like, were you ever feeling yourself, I mean, obviously you are, but, like, rather the flip side is, like, let's say if I went 0 for 4, I'm like, yo, like, you suck as a person, and, like, you are just taking up space on Earth. But then we go with, like, you know, 3 for 3, like, yo, like, you know, the sun's a little brighter today.
Right.
You know, obviously there's a little bit of a difference between your mood, but also, like, your self-worth, because some people, or rather a lot of people, tie the two together.
Totally.
Did you ever?
Yeah. I mean, so I think I consider myself very lucky because my freshman and sophomore year, I went through playing time, good spells and really bad spells. So I had all of it. I know what it felt like to sit for an entire game, and I knew what it felt like to start and score and do all the things. So freshman and sophomore year was super up and down. Junior year was a little more consistent, and then senior year was great because it was more consistent than it had been in the past, just like playing time-wise, consistency-wise of myself as doing well and things like that. So while those first 2 years, at moments were horrible, like absolutely horrible. And everybody goes through it, and if you don't, it's hard to understand what it's like to put in all that work and then don't get any. I mean, obviously everybody wants to play and wants those times, but you do all that stuff to go through that, and then when you finally get your moment, you're ready. Usually.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're not, but then you get it back. The moments come back to you. They always do. And one thing I learned fast freshman year, I was on the bench and with a couple girls, and they were like, one of the girls was like, oh, like, I went for a run this morning. And I was like, what? You did? I was like, huh? And she was like, yeah. And that in my brain, it clicked, and I was like, oh, yeah, I don't have to be, like, just on the bench, just playing 5 minutes. Like, I can be doing so much other stuff right now, too. Like, getting ready for when. So that was the moment for me where I was like, I can be I can control what I can control in those moments. And I think that, for me, was huge in not getting wrapped up in the what did you call it?
Like the results, like self-worth tying to your performance. Totally,
yeah. And of course, everybody wants the performance, everybody wants the big game, all those things. But again, once you get older and you go through the goods and the bads, you realize that, it's all about the little things.
Yeah, that you're in control of.
Exactly, and that's all you can do. And then once you're aware of that, your head is just so much better. And then you score a couple times.
Yeah.
And inspire.
Yeah.
It's pretty
good.
And you get some big
pretty
hugs,
good.
and it's great.
No, for sure.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Sure. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, back to your time here this past season at NYU a little bit. Of course, the UAA traveling a ton with this group. You mentioned how just great of a group of teammates you had. Did you have any like standout moments on the road, or just kind of things that came up while you were
Yeah, I think that so we took a little preseason trip to Long Island, which was super fun because we had just gotten there kind of, so everybody was kind of just like filling each other out. We did some fun stuff as a group, so that was really cool. The weekend that we did Emory and Rochester back to back was like actually one of the craziest things that I had done. Like, we at American never would do a whole like a weekend travel plane to others, all of
city
that.
To city.
Yeah. It would be like play, maybe rest, and like it was just never the back to back. So that was, while it was extremely exhausting, it was really fun because you were in 2 different states in 48 hours and playing games and stuff like that. So that was really cool. And I mean, because we don't have a home field, we're on the bus a lot of bus rides. So a lot of snacks. We have a lot of bakers. Got a lot of good cookies, good pies. Yes. So that was always something to look forward to. And
who be baking like that?
So, Caitlin Fong.
Okay.
Cookies.
Cookies?
Fire.
Yeah.
Okay. Word.
Top 3 favorite cookies.
I don't know what they're called, but they're incredible. They're chocolate with the little powdered sugar on the top. You've definitely seen them before.
Oh yeah.
But they have a name.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then Bryce and Jayla both make pies.
Nice.
Gas. Like,
that's
so
awesome.
Gas. So, I think Caitlin also makes banana pudding. But I was the first time I ever had it, and it was incredible.
Magnolia Bakery, where you
I love it there.
Yeah, banana pudding.
I have not had
Undefeated.
I haven't had their banana
it's the first thing you got to get.
I saw it on
We're
the
going
menu.
to Hudson Yards. It's a field trip.
Oh, yeah. No, so Caitlin put me onto banana pudding. And, yeah, so those are the bakers. So hit them up if you need a snack.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to pull up to a SAC meeting.
Facts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I feel like they always have this.
Yeah. Well, Caitlin's on on the e-board. Yeah.
So she must make those cookies.
For sure. Love it.
But yeah.
What are your top 3 favorite cookies? And in order.
I'm
order.
I'm a basic girl.
Jane?
Chocolate chip.
Okay.
And then
that's 1.
Yeah.
I actually really love whatever those are called.
Okay, so that's 2.
Sure. And maybe like a snickerdoodle
Snickerdoodle's
or
good.
something.
No doubt.
Snickerdoodle. What is the difference between snickerdoodle and sugar cookies?
Snickerdoodle has
It's just
cinnamon.
cinnamon, right?
I
That's
think.
pretty much it. There's a difference.
Yeah.
They're both damn good.
Yeah.
Sugar cookies can be kind of dry sometimes.
That's fair.
But yeah. What do you guys like?
Go ahead, Kai.
I'm with you on the chocolate chip up
Yeah.
top. I mean, it's just like you can't
Yeah,
go
it's
Go
kind
to.
of undefeated.
And there's so many ways you can have like
Totally.
a soft, crunchy, chewy.
Right.
I don't know.
All the ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, like sugar cookies fire too. I don't know if that's number 2. I'm gonna go probably sugar cookie number 2, and then number 3. I feel like a child saying this, but just like the little soft ones in the thing with the frosting and the, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like those I don't eat them often, but
Yeah.
when I have them, they
They're
just
so
hit.
good.
So I gotta throw that in the 3.
You can't
just 'cause.
resist those.
Yeah.
Yeah, chocolate chip, sugar, white chip, macadamia nut.
Wow.
Yeah, no,
You just
I'm out here.
rifled.
Yeah,
Kyle knows.
You
He
knew.
you need to go
be
to Chip City, New York. Chip
Mm.
City.
Chip City.
Yeah. Their
Okay.
cookies are like the size of cakes. But
Oh,
to anyone that is listening that has gone to Chip, if you
Shout
know,
out.
you know.
shout out Chip.
That's facts, for sure. We need an
Really?
NIL deal over here. We
Seriously?
need a podcast deal more
yeah.
than anything.
No, we need a sponsor.
We can have the cookies set up on the front thing.
Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome. Chip City, where is it?
There's actually one in the West Village.
Huh.
Mm.
Yeah, short walk over.
Are they crunchy, chewy? What's the vibe?
They're gigantic, is what they are. They're both.
Gotcha.
Give it a try. Give it
Wow.
a try. You won't be
Crunchy
disappointed.
I've never been.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
White chip macadamia nut.
Yep.
I don't know if I can get into that. I don't know.
No?
if I can
There's
get
a lot going on there. I mean.
Yeah. I'm not a huge things in my cookie,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
Feel that.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at at the NYU schedule,
Mhm.
like, and obviously there were like a lot of wins. You guys didn't take a loss for a little while.
Yeah.
There was a ton of draws in there, but
Yeah.
honestly, like even just the numbers aside, were there like a couple of teammates that you especially gravitated to, like in just this one year that you were here, that you kind of spent a lot of time with off the field in addition to on those bus rides?
Yeah, definitely. So
Yeah.
I think that so we had a lot of attacking players.
Mm-hmm.
And in practice and stuff, obviously, we would all be together, even if we would, like, split up from defense or just in drills and stuff. So I think we all got really close, or at least I felt like it. And we just, every practice, we'd have a good time. We knew each other's strengths and weaknesses, things like that. And on the field, you knew whoever was coming in for you or who you're going in for or after you, whatever lineup it ended up being, was just, it was going to be great
Mm-hmm.
no matter what. So that was really cool to see.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think that translates from like practice and stuff to off the field. I mean, we spent a lot of time together, so
Yeah.
yeah, it was cool.
Who you were most hanging out with?
I mean, we did a lot of stuff together.
Yeah.
Like
well,
a
Amanda's your
lot.
roommate, right?
She is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amanda
so
Mickley.
yes.
Shout out.
Shout out.
She's an employee. Great
We-
videographer.
Yep.
She's a great
Yeah,
videographer.
for sure.
Talented girl.
Yeah.
But no, we did a lot of stuff together,
That's great.
and in season and still now too. So
Mm.
it was really cool.
That's good.
Yeah, because at American we were like that also. We all were together all the time, so it was cool to see how that stayed the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it.
Mhm.
Kai, you got anything?
How's grad school? Like compare,
Yeah, facts.
just like.
It's good. The fact that like I already completed 4 years of school and we're here now in another year is like insane to think about.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the fact that 4 years in DC already went by and
Yeah.
and a degree was got, and now we're on to the next.
Mhm.
It's like insane.
Was there one that was more harder than the other, more difficult than the other, undergrad versus grad?
I don't. So far, not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
far, I
I
would
felt
think.
grad school was easier for me.
Yeah.
I think in college I just learned how to learn. Learn how to
Totally.
study, learn how to
Yeah.
manage my time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
obviously.
think when I first got to American, like I had no idea what I wanted to do at all. It was like the normal, and I heard from everybody, "Oh, you'll figure it out. You figure it out." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, okay, whatever."
Mhm.
And then I did, and I got the like perfect combo.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like I was saying guys before, like the PR and the business and entertainment,
Yeah.
and it was awesome. So once I figured that out, I honestly, like at American, I loved every single class I took, which is like crazy to think
No,
about.
that's-
but like I loved
It's
it
an
all.
achievement
Yeah,
itself.
my professors were awesome, everything. So here, and it has been exactly the same here. I like how grad school obviously is more specific. So
Mhm.
like with sports business, it's sports related,
Mhm.
and but you also get a ton of other stuff with it. So that's cool. But so far so good.
Yeah.
And so far we're 10 out of 10 on both.
Love
yeah,
it.
I'm a school
That's
girl.
great. Thriving.
I'm deep in the books.
I'm sure you are.
Just kidding. I'm not.
A couple of episodes ago, we spoke with some of the two women's basketball players, and they
Mhm.
talked about certain, career paths that they might want to take. One was speaking about, potentially being like the sideline reporter at, these games, and the other wants to be a nurse. Do you have any like career aspirations that are that specific, or do you just know you want to be in the sport industry, and like what capacity?
Yeah, I don't have like a dream job. I think going through college and grad school, I'm learning about how many things are out there that I have never even thought of or heard of or whatever, and how many things can be have still yet to be produced as a position. So
Yeah, seriously.
I just am in the mindset of like get everything that I can and kind of go with the flow, feel it out, see what happens. But I definitely know, I think I want to work in sports. Yeah, just not sure exactly where.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Same.
I mean, you're never not.
I mean, I'm glad I don't have it figured out.
Yeah. Well, so do you see? Do you like find that comfortable? Because like my brother, my brother's a little older than me.
Yeah.
And he and I were just talking over the Christmas break. He was like, yeah, like I've never really had a plan, which is good and bad, but like I seek the good in it. Like for you, like has that been something that you've been okay with? Or
Definitely.
Like,
I think through everything, I'm like, as long as I'm pushing forward in some way, like I know that I'll be good. So I stick to that, definitely. So I don't, and I tell people this all the time, like I think about today right now. I'm not a huge like think about later type of person. Like when things need to get done, get them done, but don't think too far ahead, because that just creates too much. So
that's a good way to play it.
we do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Wise
and
words.
See what happens. yeah, exactly.
Is there anywhere in New York City that you like to go to on a day off? Like, let's say it's, a weekend, it's still nice out, you're not in season anymore. Or do you kind of like to spend your time around the city?
Good question.
Or maybe you're a homebody.
I mean, I do love to be in my bed.
Yeah.
I love to be in my bed. But when I do step outside, so this might sound like super, like you're not from New York, you just love it, but Dumbo under both the bridges.
Oh, yeah.
Fire.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Fire.
Washington Street, the view of, what is that, the Manhattan Bridge in particular.
Yeah, it's
so
iconic.
Awesome. At night and during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
just.
And that's a great walk, like along Brooklyn Bridge Park, along the water.
Promenade.
They have the
You can't
grass.
beat it. Yeah, you can't beat it.
Yeah, it's awesome. So that's like my first place.
I love that you set a place in Brooklyn. That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
I love that. My mom just came to visit, and we brought her there, and she was
Hell
like,
yeah.
oh my God. I was like, yeah.
Had you been to New York before? Or?
Oh, yeah, she had, but never
Okay.
over there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
was
good
really
tour
cool.
guide,
Yeah.
for sure. And you mentioned your brother. How old is he?
He is 24, turning 25.
Okay. Did he play a sport
Yeah.
as well? Or?
He was the same thing, like baseball, basketball, soccer. He did a little football, lacrosse. He was the same thing. Throughout high school, baseball, basketball, soccer, and then stopped after that.
Okay, so you didn't play in college?
No, didn't play in
Gotcha.
college. And then
Where'd he go?
He did Mount Wachusett Community College first, and now he goes to UMass Lowell.
UMass
Nice.
Lowell.
Yeah.
Shout out UMass.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he did a little bit of both. But
Big
he
hockey
still,
team.
Oh yeah, huge. So he did a little bit of both, and he still plays. Like he'll go play pickup in the park or
Nice.
intramurals and stuff. So he's always and still will say that he can beat me and he'll score on me or he can make more three. I'm like,
That's
no, you
his,
can't.
I mean, that's his duty.
Always, always.
So did he give any guidance on the whole college process at all for you? Or?
Not really. I mean, he
Yeah.
was happy with whatever I chose.
That's good.
He's like the biggest fan, so he loves wherever I am doing whatever. So it's awesome.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah. So really cool. Everybody.
is there anything that you wanted to discuss that we, did not get to run through?
Oh God.
Now's the time.
I know, right?
To bring it up, deepest darkest secrets.
No shot. Not on this platform. Not on this platform.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ooh, maybe that's a bring it to Stu. Deepest darkest secrets.
Oh
podcast.
yeah, ask our athletic director. What are our deepest
so we
darkest
have another
secrets?
Idea.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that
You
would kind of be lit.
You bring that to the conference room one day and see how that goes.
Deepest darkest secrets podcast.
It's your new project. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of anything else off my head.
No
Cool.
worries.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, looks like that is a wrap for us.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
You just listened to The Science Behind the Violets, episode number 5 with Tate Jordan, women's soccer. You can follow and stay up to date with everything that we do at gonyuathletics.com and at NYU Athletics. Tate, appreciate you coming on.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Tate. A lot of fun.
Mhm.